This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good evening. How you doing there, shipmate? What's going on with you tonight?
Doing great, man. Getting ready to hang out with you and Raider Nation and talk about my favorite Raider of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that Phil is definitely in my top three, so I was glad that we actually had a chance to have him on.
Oh man, that was so awesome, bro. That
Yeah.
was absolutely awesome. I downloaded that just in case anything ever happened. Like I want that video. But yeah, we're talking about. Oh, we got to watch our language about Lyle F. and Alzado. Oh my, that's going to be a tough one.
Only because I got the 2-hour slot for Roku on Friday.
Okay.
And it's because we got to play to the audience.
Yes. No. You know what? I could probably do it. Please tell me you found that 7-second delay button.
No.
This is going to be tough. All right. Well, you know what? Let's try not to curse Lyle Alzado, man. This man was anger. This is going to be a rough one.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to say thanks to all the people that are out here. We got my favorite dog, Bishop. Other than you, the Bishop. We got Sebastian Gonzalez. Robert Pena is in the house as well. And
all eyes on G.
All eyes on G. All eyes on G. So again, we are doing Lyle Alzado tonight, and that is the man of the hour, and we're going to start it off with let's see, got to put it up. If you're watching on Roku TV, please watch your language. Oh, I didn't even turn on my Instagram yet. Let me do that.
And if you do end up jumping in on this, watch your language.
Yep. Only because it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder order for me to do the things I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I'm doing live on Instagram, so hopefully we'll get some out as well. So yeah, we're on there live. So again, once we get Instagram up, we'll let other folks know that we are over here on Roku TV. Yeah, you even wore your 77.
I got my Alzado on, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm as you know, OG, I roll right in from work. So at least I try to make sure on days that we're doing Raider things, I have at least an appropriately colored polo.
But are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants.
Okay, good. All right, so, ooh, a lot to talk about here.
Okay.
Again, being my favorite Raider. I can go over the stats and stuff and talk about that, but I learned something new about Lyle Alzado today.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, his home life growing up was rough. He had a father who was an alcoholic and abuser. Matter of fact, when he got older, he was trying to protect his family and pretty much got kicked out of the house because him and his father went at it. His father was a street fighter. I mean, tough guys. But here's what blew me away. He played high school football and was a Varden Trophy candidate in high school for 3 years. Never got it, right? After he failed to receive a scholarship offer, this is the new stuff I learned. Alzado played for Kilgore College, a community college in Kilgore, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
After 2 years, they asked him to leave. And he told everybody later on, I was asked to leave. Now understand, this is the 1960s in Texas for befriending a black teammate. Things were what they were from then. What he did is he left and went to Yankton College in South Dakota. These are small schools. Nobody's seeing you. Okay. And after playing there, he gained notice by the NFL when a scout from the Denver Broncos had car troubles, and the car had to go to a shop in Montana. And while he was there, he went to and asked the Montana school, Montana Tech, which was one of the opponents that Yankton, where Lyle played, asked if they could just watch the film just to kill some time while he was getting his car fixed. And he noticed this guy from Yankton that they just recently played beating up their offensive line pretty much. And so in 1971, the Donkeys signed him. And they didn't tell anybody about this guy. And this is what I learned today that was new. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he was drafted in the 4th round based solely on the scout who had the car trouble and was just wasting time before. And again, I read that today too, and that was the first that I read of it too. So I was the first time I'm like, so Lyle Alzado owed his career to a dude that had car trouble.
Mm-hmm. Who was watching an opposing team's film.
Right.
And they saw him and they were impressed. So they drafted him, and they didn't tell nobody about this guy. You find something like that, you don't tell nobody about it. You know what I mean? And they brought him in. And what happened is he got drafted in 71, and the Broncos defensive end, Tombstone, what was his name? Rich Jackson, thank you. He got injured, and Alzado took over the guy's job and pretty much got all the various all-rookie team contributions. He got 60 tackles and 8 sacks, okay? The next year, he racked up like 10.5 sacks and 91 tackles. So the guy was posting numbers that were incredible, okay? The year after that, he got named All-AFC, 13 sacks and 80 tackles. Okay, this guy was a beast. He wasn't playing around. He was named in there with guys like Jack Youngblood and Carl Eller, But anyway, 1975, he moved to defensive tackle and got 91 tackles and 7 sacks. And then in 76, he injured his knee, and missed pretty much most of the season. 77, he went out there and helped the Donkeys, get to 12-2. And they got to, I think they got to the Super Bowl, and they got smoked by the Cowboys.
Yeah, he was part of that wonderful orange crust defense that Denver had in the 70s. And, him and Bernie, Bernie Chavis, both had 2 sacks in the AFC Championship game. So it's the first time that they had 2 Broncos with 2 sacks in a was it a postseason game?
Right,
and,
but he also got in the playoffs, and he also got AFC Defensive Player of the Year that year, I think.
Mm-hmm. He was.
Okay. And then in 78, he had like 77 tackles, 9 sacks, and then in 79 he had a contract dispute with the Broncos, and they traded him to the Cleveland Browns. He went on to the Cleveland Browns, and 79 had 80 tackles that year, 7 sacks, and then the following year, I guess they got to the AFC Central Division, and they lost to the Raiders in the divisional round. And that year he recorded in 1981, he got 83 tackles, 8.5 sacks. And then the Browns traded him to the Raiders in 1982. And when they did that, they kind of ticked him off. I said ticked, which isn't the word I wanted to use. And he worked out furiously, they said. By the time when he got to the Raiders, they'd moved to LA, and he was named Comeback Player of the Year. And the 1982 season, they had a strike, and so he only got to play 9 games. But in 9 games, he recorded 7 sacks and 30 tackles, and voted all AFC. When we went into the 83 season, he helped us to a Super Bowl victory. 50 tackles, 7.5 sacks for the season, playing opposite of Howie Long. Okay. 84 season, he had 63 tackles, 6 sacks. And the next year, he dipped to 31 tackles, 3 sacks, and he got a season-ending injury. He retired in 85. Tried to make a comeback in 1990, which is the year I met him, and I'll talk about that a little bit. He injured his knee in training camp and was released. In his entire career, he had 196 games, racked up 112.5 sacks, 24 forced fumbles, nearly 1,000 tackles, and 3 safeties, which he's tied for second all time. The ESPN called him a violent, combative player known to have a short temper. And the league created a rule against throwing a helmet after he did it to an opponent. I believe was it the Jets?
Yeah, it was the Jets. It was their tackle. His last name was Ward, and it was
right. And Howie kind of insinuated that he told Alzado that Ward was talking trash about him, but he didn't confess to it. He kind of insinuated, and he took his helmet off and tried to beat him with it. And so that is the Alzado rule. You can't do that anymore. The Raiders created a lot of rules in the NFL. But his brother, I believe it's Peter Alzado, said that that's not who Lyle was. Off the field, he was a sweetheart of a guy. On the field, he took out all of his anger from his childhood on NFL players. As a matter of fact, Greg Townsend even said it. A teammate. He's a teammate of Lyle's. He said Lyle Alzado had savagery, but it represented a split personality. Off the field, he said that Lyle Alzado was a gentle giant. He was very caring, warm, and giving. And that's true because the Lyle Alzado was known to visit children's hospitals and read to them and just talk with them and hang out with the kids and play with them. And he didn't do it on camera. He didn't tell nobody he did that. He got caught on camera once because somebody figured out what he was doing. Why does this guy keep leaving and going to he got stalked by a reporter. It was like, why is this guy going to the children's hospital? And found out and actually got some footage of Lyle just sitting there talking to a kid. That's who he really was. Off the field. On the field, and I can vouch for that. But on the field, he was your worst nightmare.
For sure. And the thing is that I caught from it is that when he was at that first college in Texas, and he wasn't anything. Granted, when he was playing high school, he wasn't anything to speak of as far as he didn't get any scholarship offers and whatnot. So when he went away to that other school is when he first had because again he was from the north, so that's when he had the friendship with the African American player, which cost him basically his spot on the team. But it was during that time. I'm not sure if it was the transition from that college to Yankton, but it was during that time that he learned about anabolic steroids.
Right, he started taking them in '69.
Right. That's when he became just a humongous beast because he was undersized, but obviously the way roids hit him, he just really just blew up. And again, some of the offshoots for steroid use is, the
rage,
and the psychoses that you get from the steroids.
Right.
So it was one of those things where it built him. But ultimately, and they don't have and I'm getting a little ahead of the story, but they don't have anything that stated his demise was caused by that. But we'll get to that at a later time.
Right, because realistically, that was debunked. When Lyle Alzado came out in Sports Illustrated and said, after he was retired, that he had diagnosed with brain cancer, he did a story and the cover, and it said, "I lied." And yes, I have the same. I'm wearing the same bandana. And I read it, broke my heart. This guy was my hero. I had two childhood heroes, Lyle Alzado and Bruce Lee. Those were my heroes. Well, by the time, Lyle got drafted to the NFL, Bruce Lee was dead. And I didn't start watching Bruce Lee movies till a few years after he died. I was too little. I get to meet Lyle Alzado. The closest to Bruce Lee is one time we did a deployment. I went up to Seattle and I took a tour where I got to go up to see his grave. Lyle Alzado died when he was 43 years old. He had brain cancer. They said that steroids doesn't cause that. Steroid use doesn't cause it. So he believed it did. And he came out and confessed. And the sacrifice he made was he got himself banned from the Hall of Fame. The problem is all the players in the 70s, 90% of them were using. They just didn't have the balls to say so.
No, balls is
okay. They didn't have the guts to admit it. Lyle Alzado came out and showed intestinal fortitude that a lot of these other players didn't have.
Yeah, and again, by the way, Daniel, turn your volume down on your end. It's unfortunate because again, when you look at his numbers and knowing as well that the numbers that he had, and again, they didn't have stats as an official statistic for quite a while. So I saw something where it said that according to, and again, it's conjecture, but I had him at from what I was reading, he had 123 sacks. So when you put back, the amount of sacks he had, the amount of times he was defensive player of the year, that was something he had on, all the all pros that he made there. And unfortunately, when I was talking about the next Raider to go into the Hall of Fame, we actually often go by Lyle, and and I firmly believe, like I said, Greg Townsend should definitely be in the conversation for all of his attributes as well. But Lyle Alzado should definitely be in the conversation as well. Once you put his entire career, and yeah, he admitted to steroid use, but again, that's the way the 70s were, that most of the players that were playing were on roids, and it's just
It
the way
wasn't
it was.
just the 70s, it was into the 80s and early 90s.
Right.
Okay. And I played semi-pro ball with a guy who played at a certain school, which is one of the prestigious schools for football in California, and told me, he goes, you know what? Todd Marinovich is not the mess up. His dad messed him up. And he would shoot him up with steroids before games. And that's just hearsay, secondhand news. But this was a big problem during those times. And what Lyle Alzado did was bring it to light, bring it to reality, and put the NFL's face in it like, hey, you need to do something about this. I don't want anybody else to go out like this, even though that was the case. But there's other players who had used and lost limbs because of it. And I think the only guy unaffected by that is John Helway, but look at his face. He's half horse. And that's where anabolic steroids come from, as horses.
Mm-hmm.
But he admitted it, and they pretty much banned him from the Hall of Fame. But like I said, he said 90% of the people he knew were using them in several sports.
Right.
Let's get into something a little more up. Well, Alzado decided he was going to go 12 rounds with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I was wondering when he picked that up in 1979.
And he went into the ring with Ali and told Ali, I'm not here to play. I'm here doing an exhibition. I'm here to fight you. And Ali's like, careful, careful. Well, Lyle went in there and he went after Ali, and Ali got furious and went right back after him. And Lyle stood there, and they went the full 12 rounds. He never knocked him out. Was there a knockdown? Didn't somebody get knocked down?
I'm not sure. I just know that because it was an exhibition, that nobody officially scored the fight. But the point is that Lyle was in there for 12 rounds with the heavyweight champ.
And he wasn't pulling punches and doing exhibition. He went after him.
Right. Yeah.
And Ali got mad and went after him. Like, oh, okay, you want to do this? Let me show you. Nobody showed nobody nothing. He went with the best boxer, the champ, and went 12 rounds with him. And he was not gonna back down from anybody. I would. What was it? Some sports writer wrote, I'll put Alzado in a ring with King Kong. I feel sorry for the monkey.
No. It was actually Alzado himself said if him and King Kong were to go into a dark alley, only one of them would come out, and it wouldn't be the monkey.
That's what it was. Yeah. Alzado was no joke, man. This guy lived on the edge when it came to competition. Off the field, different human being, completely
sure.
different human being. A good person, a nice person, a sweetheart teddy bear guy you want to hang out with.
If you're on Instagram, head on over to YouTube. You can watch the whole show on from Instagram. Go to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please head on over to YouTube. We appreciate all the views.
But in 1990, before the comeback attempt, there was a bar in West Hollywood called Alzado's. I worked 2 blocks down the street at an art publishing company. And I'd go in there once in a while, just have one beer and go home. And I went in there one day. There was some pretty girl behind the bar, you know. One day I went in there, no pretty girl. It was him. And I'm like, I'm the only person in the bar. I get up to the bar, ordered a beer. And I said, so, how you feeling about the Raiders this year? He said, I'm feeling pretty good about the Raiders. They're going to have a new defensive player. It's probably going to go in there and stomp. I was like, yeah, who? He goes, I'll show you. He goes to the back room, comes back out, unrolls his poster, and it's him with a helmet throwing up the peace sign, except for missing a finger.
Right.
And it said, I'm back. And I went, seriously? You're going back? Oh my God. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I'm going back. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I'm sitting there, and it was like having a couple of beers, just talking with him. I was like, you allowed to have a beer? No, I'm training. I was like, oh man, that sucks. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do a shot. He did a shot. I paid for it. And then I had a couple more beers, and I tipped the guy. And then I tried to be a smart aleck for a change. And
Whoa.
it's my lie, let me tell it. No, I'm just kidding. No, that part it is. So I said to him, I said, let me ask you a question. I had a couple of beers in me. I'm feeling a little bold. I said, I see this place gets hopping on weekends. I don't stop in here on Friday afternoon because the place is already packed, but shouldn't you get some good bouncers in here? And he looked at me and he went, poof, and this thing was huge. And I was like, it went from me smiling and like, okay. And then he started smiling like, needless to say, I got to hang out.
Don't kill yourself.
For an hour with my childhood hero. And it was awesome. And he was the nicest guy. And he's kind of a smart, he's from New York, so he's going to be he's going to be a smart aleck back, you know what I mean? And I had a cutting sense of humor. Sit there. He's good at trash talking. And we talked about some plays and some games. I said, oh, by the way, that thing with the Jets, man, didn't they create a rule for that now? He goes, that MF, I wanted to decapitate him and take his head home as a trophy. But yeah, it was that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I mean, when it comes to the Raiders, I got a few great experiences. 2 weeks ago was one of them when we had Phil Villapiano on the show. The night I got to hang out with Lyle for an hour, I'd order water after that, and I was like, yeah, I got to drive back to Orange County. I don't want to get busted, So, but that was it. I just hung out with him. It was me and him in his bar. Nobody else was there. It was awesome. Lyle Alzado was a great Raider and a Raider legend. Howie Long said, half the time I didn't know if that was him or the Roids. 3 Mile Lyle, they called him. Like, And that was because there was a 3 Mile Island, which was a nuclear power plant, an island in the middle of a river in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yep.
And it was about to blow. It was about to go Chernobyl. Everybody was worried about it. I guess they resolved it some way, but they didn't call it. There was 3 Mile Island. They thought it was going to go thermonuclear. Well, they didn't have that, but they had 3 Mile Lyle. That was his nickname. Because he any minute he could go thermonuclear on you. And yeah, let me tell you something. Good guy to hang out with, bad guy to be on the opposing team of. You don't want to be an offensive lineman having to deal with him. He would try to kill you. He said, "Oh, football's not fun. It's war." And that's how he treated it, like war. He was there to kill you.
Yeah, and in fact, that he had actually, when he was talking about the war, the tackle for the Jets, he said that he wanted to decapitate him and take his head home. He actually made the same threat against Theismann in the Super Bowl, and that was obviously in media day as well, and people obviously harped on it. Unfortunately, he didn't have any sacks that game, but they paid so much attention to him that obviously Howie and the other defenders on that team just had a good field day with that Redskins offensive line. That it was kind of like in this past Super Bowl, a lot of people paid attention to Aaron Donald, and the other guys got a chance to shine. Well, at the very end, obviously Donald showed his mettle, but again, Lyle, and one of the best things I ever saw was obviously near the end of the game was when that the Raiders had won the game, and he's doing this because he finally got that ring. He finally got that ring, and that's something that they'll never be able to take from you for sure.
Now in that Super Bowl, didn't he put Riggins out of the game for a little bit?
I can't.
Like in the first quarter, first or second quarter. I thought he put Riggins out of the game for a bit.
It's possible. I mean, my God, that Super Bowl was so long ago. Can't remember. Actually, that would be one of the things I need to watch again. Are all the Raiders Super Bowls just to get back into the what it was. But I mean,
made $400 that Super Bowl.
I got ponded for that Super Bowl because I made fun of the fact that because the Redskins the previous season had beaten the crap out of the Dolphins, and it was my first year up in University of Florida, and there were a bunch of Dolphin fans that were on my floor, and by halftime I had chased them out because of my mouth. I chased them out of the what is it, the community room, and they went back and watched the Super Bowl in their own rooms because I made such a fuss about how the Raiders were kicking the Redskins' butt, and because the Redskins had just bushwhacked the Dolphins the previous year. And so at the end of the game, I was happy as hell. But then I had a bunch of people grab me, took me down 2 flights of stairs, and threw me in the pond behind the dorm at Florida. And there are alligators in that pond. So you went into the pond. And it was at night too, because remember, by the end of the Super Bowl, it's obviously night on the East Coast.
Just got gators and water moccasins waiting for you.
Yeah, so you get in the pond, but you get your ass out of the pond as soon as possible. But I got ponded. I got ponded the next Super Bowl too, because I made a crack about the Niners beating the Dolphins under Marino. It was the very next Super Bowl, and I basically when I guess Marino had a record in the Super Bowl for something like maybe most passing attempts, and I gave him a golf clap because again the Dolphins were getting their butts kicked. So again,
right.
I pissed off all the Dolphin fans in on my floor, so they did the same thing. They ponded me again. So I guess it was a Super Bowl tradition for the time I was up there that Jay's gonna get ponded. But oh well, it was great because again Raiders won, and the Dolphins lost. So I'll take being ponded for sure out of that.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of great memories. A lot of times where Alzado picked fights. He loved to fight. He liked that the after what do they call it, shenanigans or whatever. Yeah, they weren't shenanigans. That was Alzado was trying to kill somebody.
Yeah, but then again, like you said, his father was a street fighter. He was a Gold Gloves boxer,
Yep.
so he actually did know. He actually did know the power and the techniques of being a boxer, and he used that to his benefit on the football field. That's what made him a very hard person to block, because he would use the feints and the jabs and would put the power behind it in the feints. So that's why he was an incredible defensive lineman.
They called him one of the most savage players in the NFL. The people feared him. Okay. La Cienega, he opened his bar in 1990. Okay. Ed Winchell. Yeah, nice. Okay. No, people feared him. People didn't want to deal with him. People they knew this is not a football game anymore. You're gonna face Lyle Alzado. This is a fist fight. And that man's gonna beat you. And they knew it. He wasn't the dirtiest player, but he was the most ferocious.
If you're on, like I said, if you're on Instagram, head on over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, head on over to YouTube. We are on the Captain Jack Rackham page. We're also on the Chronicles of the Black Hole page on YouTube. Come on over and watch the whole show instead of
Dude, I got to talk this whole time about Lyle Alzado and I didn't cry once. I'm doing good.
Yeah, well, you're doing well, and it's only because Egalitarian. Thank you for being here, and I will say this as well. I did I guess this is like a commercial break. I did go through all of the people that had been giving me donations on my channel, and I said every time you gave a $5 donation via Super Chat or Super Sticker, or if you were doing it via PayPal or what is it, the other one, Cash App. I haven't
Cash App's a good one. Cash App, they don't charge as much as PayPal.
Yeah, well, Cash App is basically, but nobody's giving me any. In fact, I need to do this as well. If you,
I don't have either one of them going on. I got nothing, but
yeah, if you give me a donation, okay, and I'll put this up via Super Chat or Super Sticker, or the $5 via Cash App, or the $5 Friends and Family on PayPal, okay, via Friends and Family. There are 6 spots left for a third prize wheel. I already have 2 prize wheels full so somebody's going to win a prize from that prize wheel, okay? I got 2 prize wheels already full, and I'm going to do that drawing Thursday. But I'd like to finish out that third prize wheel so we can have 3 winners for that prize wheel. So if you give me a donation, I got 6 spots left, basically. And if you can do it, like if one person gives $20, that's 4 spots. So, and there are people that do that. But again, if you'd like to be a winner, the treasure chest of prizes, unfortunately, it's on my channel. It's not on Daniel's channel. But come on over and give the Super Chat or Super Sticker, or the Cash App at Captain Jack Rackham, or the Friends and Family $5 at Big Raider J at Yahoo. 6 more spots available, and we will have 3 prize wheels. But when we get it full, I'm going to do it anyway. But we already have 2 prize wheels done, so this is that commercial break while we're talking about Lyle Alzado. Also, again, no matter where you're watching, like, subscribe, and make sure that you hit the notifications button, so every time that we have a show on our channel, you will be able to see it. So if you're watching on my channel, if you're watching on Chronicles of the Black Hole channel, like, subscribe, hit the bell, make sure you're getting all of the notifications. And remember also, comment after the show. Comment after the show saying, for example, who are your favorite Raiders and I've seen some comments in here already about who your favorite Raiders were and why. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate all that.
Hey, egalitarian. I love that name, bro. And I know what it means. And that is the goal, brother. Raider Rick, can you highlight Raider Rick's comment? Lyle Howie and Kinlaw missed the team bus and had to catch a cab, got stuck in traffic, and had to walk the rest of the way carrying their gear. No, they didn't walk, they jogged. And Lyle was grunting and growling the whole way. Yeah, that was to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
they were not walking; they were jogging, and it was hot, and they're in regular clothes. And they had to, but yeah, that's back in the day, people missed buses a lot. I don't understand. I guess maybe partying the night before was accepted.
well, even in the actually that happened in Super Bowl 11 as well. Is that Matusak and a couple other people missed the bus, and they had Raider fans take them to the game. So
Yeah, well, and it's funny is when Matusak got busted for staying out partying the night before, he's like, "Oh, just making sure the other guys weren't out."
I was checking on everybody else, make sure nobody busted curfew.
Right. Yeah, we were underdogs in that Super Bowl. Yeah. Oh, they were going to kill us. Oh yeah. Oh, they're going to destroy the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders are bam, busted.
Actually, all the Super Bowls that we won, we were the underdogs.
Uh-huh.
And the Super Bowl that we lost, we were favorites.
Okay, we're not going to go there on the ones we lost, but the ones we won.
No. I'm talking about because the first one we were also an underdog, and the Packers summarily missed us. I'm talking about the last one we were.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that one, but no, yeah, that's true. Like every time we went up, oh, they're going to kill you because you're. When we played Philly, weren't we the first wild card team to make it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to kill them. And who was their quarterback? Jaworski?
Yep, Jaworski, which is
had
why
nightmares about us for years to come.
Yeah.
He, as a broadcaster, said, "You got to be afraid of the Raiders. The Raiders don't play." Like we traumatized that man.
For sure. Hey, Bishop, are you does that mean that you're sending money that I need to look for it via Cash App? Okay, I'll look for it.
Cash App's the best because PayPal takes a percentage. Cash App doesn't.
Well, PayPal, if you do friends and family, you get it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you do friends and family, like I'll show it here. If you use friends and family on PayPal, and it's at bigraiderj@yahoo.com, I get the full $5. If you do Cash App, I get the full $5. If you do via Super Chat or Super Sticker, I appreciate it, but obviously, YouTube gets their mitts on 30% of your donation. But hey, I appreciate it. I count it as a full donation.
Hey, SC Experience, how's it going, brother?
Good to see him as well in here. Let's see.
So, we want to bring on anyone to talk with us or ask questions, but we got to make sure they got to watch their language. Post up the watch your language thing.
Yeah, no, I will. Let me put that up. Okay. You are watching on Roku, so I will say that if you want to come in and
watch your language,
and I'll put that in here as well. That the link is up, so if you want to come in and join us, hit the link, or you can call. So I have the phone up as well. I tell you what, though, it's better for you to come in via the link. You don't have to come on camera, but the sound is a lot better,
right?
Via the link, and you don't have to be on screen.
You can disable the camera.
Right, you can disable the camera. I know I see Hollywood's in the house. Good to see Hollywood as well, and Dirty Low. Thank you there for being Dirty Low. We got quite a few people that are watching the show. Actually, most of them are watching over on Chronicles of the Black Hole channel, which is awesome.
Good.
Yeah, so good to see that as well. Thank you for hanging out with us on our channels. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and we love talking to you guys. So you want to come in? Captain just posted it in the chat, the StreamYard link. Come hang out with us, bro. You got questions? We got either answers or really good lies.
Yeah.
Bro.
And Raider.
Oh yeah, by the way, I have the black spot.
Yeah. So there you go.
You watch Tom Grossi at all?
Who?
Tom Grossi. He's a Packer fan, but he did a series which will kill you. It's like 5 hours long, but he did it. He also has segments where the AFC West fans and NFC West fans are living in these houses and fighting amongst themselves, and then they all end up moving together in one house. And there's one extra Raiders fan, Captain something Oakley, Captain Finn Oakley, who's a pirate. But if you watch it at the end, there's kind of a statement made that was all the old Raiders fans and the new Raiders fans didn't get along because we strike fear in the hearts of men. And the newer Raiders fan was more like, oh my God, we're gonna blow. We're gonna blow. I mean, he portrayed it perfectly. Because there's two different kinds of fans. The old school guys like us who expect to win, and the young school guys who expect to lose. But the way they did this whole thing, it's hilarious. He's part of the network with there's a Broncos fan, Brandon Perna, and there's another guy who's a Steelers fan named Urinating Tree. But they have a network, and Tom Grossi, Grossi, I swear, go over and look at his videos, and if you find the long 5-hour video, you will sit there and crack up. It's better than anything on Netflix, I promise you.
Okay, well, unfortunately, when I have 5 hours, I don't, which is rarity for me to have time. If I have 5 hours worth of time, I'm dutifully doing
right. But he's got it broken down throughout the season in little 10-minute videos.
Okay. Well,
okay, or 10 or 20-minute videos. So it's all broken down week to week to week, but he put the whole thing together at the end, and it's just, I sat and watched the whole thing over again in 5 hours, and I was like, this is fun. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna say good catch on that last F. And again, thank you for coming in. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and comment after the show. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Tell your friends here because, again, we will be doing shows about old school Raiders and making sure that the people that didn't get a chance to see them get a chance to see them. Yeah, I got it, Matt. You got to watch your language only because this is going on Roku TV. And trust me, if Daniel can go with for 40 close to 49, okay, well, I'll do the intro. So over 45 minutes without swearing, it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done.
And drinking and still not swearing. Just pretend you're in the room with your 3-year-old, and you'll understand if you're a dad. Just pretend you're in the room with your 3-year-old when you say something, and because I had to learn that the hard way at a restaurant one time. It was pretty embarrassing. Because my daughter said some very choice words that got everybody in the restaurant snickering, and I was getting dirty looks from the wife and the mother-in-law at the time. So,
but you didn't swear, so at least you kept your cool.
No, she repeated something that I normally say.
That's right. Be sure to come in. Like I said, what are your recollections of Lyle Alzado? What are your recollections of the Raiders? Of actually the Super Bowl, the last winning Raiders, Super Bowl 18 in Tampa, beating the Redskins 38-9. What are your recollections of that Super Bowl, or anything that you wanted to pass on about Lyle Alzado? Again, great storied career with the Broncos, part of the Orange Crush defense. He played well in Cleveland as well. And the reason why they dumped him in Cleveland was because they had to save money.
Mm-hmm. And they traded him to the wrong team. They paid for that.
Yeah.
But come on in, hang out with us. That's cool. Just got to watch the language a little bit. And we can talk about Alzado, or we can go off about today's Raiders, or we can go off into the weeds. I mean, Jack loves the weeds. Trust me.
I'll get you back to the main road, but you might have to take some of those dirt clogs out of your tires.
He likes the boondocks. So I just bummed a joint and a beer off my 3-year-old. What, Raider Rick? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Mike Lee, and we talked about that as well.
Yeah.
About how unassuming he was, how giving he was of his time, especially to kids, and he did it without fanfare. He didn't ask, to be known about it. He did that because that's what he wanted to do.
And stayed pretty incognito while he did it. He just snuck in, read to the kids, hung out with the kids, talked with the kids. And, some reporter figured it out, following him, like, where's he going? Why is he going here? And why is he going here again? Why is he going here again? He spent his time at children's hospitals with the kids.
Which shows you that, like I said, because his childhood was
brutal.
Was not in it wasn't a very great home. Like I said, his father was abusive. I did find out his mom was Jewish, though. So that's another thing I learned today as well.
And so was he.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
And there is an actual Jewish sports Hall of Fame, and he's in it.
Yeah. Because you get your lineage from your mom as a Jew. So that's why I'd have to convert.
Same as a Hispanic.
There you go.
You get that last name. And Native Americans definitely were like that. Men own no property in a lot of the tribes. The women own the property, made a lot of decisions. If she left your moccasins outside for 3 days, you didn't go back. You were kicked out.
Okay. Well,
what's up, Greg?
We're also getting some questions about well, again, hey, come on in. I'm going to put that link up again as well.
Yeah, guys, come in, hang out with us.
Yeah, and I'll show what Raider Rick said as well. He was arrested for punching his dad for molesting his sisters. Wow. Hey, that's probably one of the reasons why he was out of the house, and but
angry.
Again, I like he was angry like that. So
yeah, he because his dad also beat up his mom. He did that. He did some atrocious things, and Alzado lived in anger, and he took it out on every team he played against. He was kind to people, but when he got on the field, all the things that were crushed down in him, he let it loose and went after people, and with nothing but hate and anger. Anyone who wants to jump in, you can disable the camera if you don't want to be on camera, but come on in and hang out with us, because you know what? We're not here for us. We're here for you. We're here to tell you stories, but we also like to share time with you. Hey, Raider Rick, you ever been on one? Oh, we got a bot.
Yeah.
And I can't hit him.
I got him.
You got 2 of them in a row.
Oh, really?
Yep. Go down underneath Raider Rick's Without a Doubt OG, and you got 2 bots in a row.
Yeah, I got the one that showed up on my channel.
Oh. So one on mine too?
Yeah, there's one on there's got to be one on yours, because I killed the one on mine.
Oh, I'm gonna snipe this bad boy. Let me see.
Yeah, that one's on yours.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kill a bot. I like killing. We're in the business of killing bots, and
business is good.
We're in the business of killing bots, and business is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll let you get that. I'll let you get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, come on in, and I will show this one again. Edgar Benio asked
Got
us
him.
about him. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna bring on Raider Bob real quick once he gets his camera squared away. And again, if you are on Instagram, oh, I got Kendra on here. Kendra, good to see you. Kendra is Kenny Stabler's daughter.
Really?
Yeah, good to see Kendra. Hopefully she's still here. Kendra, come on in if you want to pop in at any time. Good to see Kendra. She was there. I'm not sure if she's still there, but yeah, she was here watching the show for a little while. And again, thank you for being here. We got the tribal chief. What good? Good. Hey, we're good. Hey, if you're on Instagram, head on over to YouTube. Good to see you as
You
well.
got another bot that's not on my channel.
Got another bot? Okay, let me see that.
Underneath Raider Rick, without a doubt, OG.
Yeah, well, I already got rid of mine.
All right, it killed mine on my channel, so it's just showing that one on yours.
Okay, I'm going to block him at least.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I reported it, but it's not there anymore. So
yeah, a bot.
Dead bot.
Yeah, a bot is one of those. It's like it's a malicious malware that goes after things. It's usually spreading malware. It also spreads porn channels. You go to it. It's malware.
And you can tell by the names on the bot they're Russian.
Yeah, and a lot of them are Russian. So
most of them are Russian.
Yeah. Vicky Orr's in here again. And if you see Vicky's also a member of the channel. Vicky, you weren't in here earlier for the thing. I got 6 spots. I got 6 spots available for the third wheel. I got 2 wheels that are done. I got 6 spots. Oh, we lost Raider Bob. Raider Bob, come back.
Hey, Ed Winchell, why aren't you jumping on, man?
Okay, Raider
jumping
Bob.
on with us. I like talking with you.
Hopefully, Raider Bob, I know you're here, but I can't see you. You got a problem with your camera, Raider Bob.
I would love it if All Eyes, Raider Rick, or Ed Winchell jumped on with us. You know, that would be fun.
Okay, we'll get hopefully we got Raider Bob will pop in. Oh, Mr. Wombat. All right. Well, now I got 4 spots because Mr. Wombat came in with another donation. Can't call it, would always appreciate stories. Thanks there, Mr. Wombat. And Mr. Wombat, like I said, and Mr. Wombat I know is on my first wheel from way long ago. So I got 4 spots remaining with Mr. Wombat's 2 entries. So I will put him on that. Raider Bob, for some reason, it's not coming in, brother. You're not coming in. So check your connection.
Must be a lot of more bandwidth.
Yeah, check your connection, Bob. Sorry about that. I'd love to have you come in. It's not. Well, let me see. Wait, let's try him again. I got a spinning circle of death.
To everything, turn.
There you go. Okay, good. I got Vicky Orr, so I got another one here. So I got 2 left because I have Big Boy Mario came in. So now I have 2 spots left for the third wheel. I got 2 spots left for the third wheel. So again, if you want to get those last 2 spots, we'll get it done tonight. And thank you there, Big Boy Mario, Vicky, and Mr. Wombat. We're going to bring in Kurtz the Boy. Kurtz the Boy is a Cowboys fan. How you doing tonight, Kurt?
I'm all right. How about you guys?
Put up the warning.
We're good. Got it. Well, remember, Kurtz, by the way, got to watch your language.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you take me off real quick?
Yeah,
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay. Kurtz will come back in a bit. Kurtz is good for things. He will be in there. But again, thank you there, Vicky Orr.
Hey, Jack, why don't you jump on, man? The link's in the chat. Jack, love talking with you, brother.
Yeah, we definitely would like to have Jack Kenna on, and because Jack is on one of the prize wheels because he's given donations before as well. I got 2 spots open, and that doesn't mean that you can't be on for the next prize wheel if it's beyond that. But no, Jack, no swearing tonight.
No swearing, Jack.
No swearing tonight.
We have to be gentlemen.
That's right. We
So
are.
when you drink your rum, you have to extend your pinky.
That's right. Kurt's the boys over there on IG as well. Thank you there. And the tribal chief, thank you for being here on Instagram. Please head on over to YouTube. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook, please come over to YouTube. Wherever you're watching, like, subscribe, get those notifications, ring the bell, share, and comment after the show. And Ed Winter's going to call in a minute. I like that as well.
Yeah, come in and comment after the show, and let me tell you why. Because tomorrow we can look at these comments and like, oh yeah, let me answer that, or hey man, I agree, or dude, what are you talking about? Like, we get to interact with you further. This is what that's the only reason I'm on here, is to interact with Raiders fans. Let me explain. I live in South Carolina. There are hardly any Raiders fans here. Okay. Especially out in the woods where I live. So when I get to talk Raiders talk the next day with people, dude, that's like the highlight of my day. So please.
Yeah.
Give me a few potty breaks.
Yeah, I know. People can come in. They don't have to swear. You don't have to swear. Raider Bob and she her dad's last. Oh, okay, there you go. As well, we were talking about picking up the last name thing. Kurt, are you still there?
But the Iroquois and the Cherokee are different. They have the mother's name. The woman owns all properties. Women have the possessions. It's a queen of the hive mentality, and it works.
One spot left there, Crypt, and then I will have a wheel. I will have a wheel that will be finished, for as far as I know. $5 via the Super Chat or Super Sticker, and you will have the last spot.
No, Jack Kenna, I do not. I am a Syracuse basketball fan.
Yeah.
I'm from upstate New York. That's how we roll.
Okay.
Go Orange.
Okay, there we go. Kurtz has got that last spot, so I will tally this up. But I do believe we have everybody squared away. So I will get that third prize wheel ready for Thursday as well. Thank you there, Kurtz the boy, Cowboys fan. Hopefully I'm gonna bring him on. We'll see if he's here. Let's see here. Kurtz, are you? I had him.
Yo, what's
James?
up? You here? Yeah. What's the spin wheel for?
It's for prizes where you get you spin the wheel, you get a winner, one prize. A lot of the prizes are Raider memorabilia and things like that.
Okay, that's good.
Hey, Captain, could you see the name on the back of the jersey when I did that?
Yes, sir. I saw Alzado. Yes.
That's right, James Furpo.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have some relatives that are Raider fans. So.
Oh, I said, trust me, I had a Bronco fan win one of the better prizes I had. It was a hard metal sign that says like Raiders people sign, and she gave it to her friend who's a Raiders fan. Everybody knows a Raiders fan. It's a really nice prize.
They're all over the place.
So who's the Cowboys fan we're talking to?
Right here, Kurtz.
Kurtz.
And I see Raider Rick and Afakazi. I got you guys. You're backstage. Don't go nowhere. We will get you on the show. We will get you.
You can bring one more on, couldn't you? One or two?
One at a time. Go ahead, Kurtz.
Okay, well, Kurtz, I have family that are Cowboys fans. I have friends that are Cowboys fans. We don't talk about them, and we kind of lock them in the attic when company comes over.
It's pretty funny, but I think there's two types of Cowboys fans. I think there's the realistic Cowboy fans, and there's just this other type of Cowboy fans that we don't really talk about, which are like the delusional ones that say we're going to go to the Super Bowl every single year. Which it kind of gives us a bad rap.
I'm one of those delusional Raiders fans that says that, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with the Cowboys, it's worse. Like, you could say that, like, as a Raiders fan, no one's going to, like, bat an eye. But if I say that, it's like I'll get, like, slandered off the internet.
So out of curiosity, what are you guys going to do? You going to get rid of Amari Cooper this year?
Hopefully, I'm praying we don't. That would be really dumb, because I feel like the Raiders could honestly have a chance of picking him back up if we do that.
We don't want him.
You don't want him?
We don't want him. He ain't got no heart. We don't want him.
Oh, I forgot.
No.
No, I was just messing with you. But yeah, I honestly feel like if we let him go, there's so many other teams, especially NFC East teams that have a lot of money that can sign him to a lucrative contract, and he will accept it.
Especially the Eagles. You wouldn't want that.
Yeah, they already have a good receiver core right now, besides Jalen Rager.
Well, no, but they were thinking about getting rid of Rager, and they only have Devontae Smith, and they were thinking about that they were going to part ways with Rager, and then
They need to.
they get rid of Rager, they could sign Amari Cooper. So
Yeah,
that's
and
where I'm at.
DeMarcus Lawrence too. I hope we don't lose him, but I mean, I wouldn't be upset because he's a lot older, and I think he broke his foot this year, so like he's kind of like injury prone. I think because I mean, this isn't the only year without injuries. He's had injuries throughout his whole career. And I think if we like re-sign the people that we need to re-sign, I think we'll be a good enough football team.
Okay. Well, I do want to make sure I acknowledge I got Raider Rick, Alpha Raider, and Jack is in the backstage. We will bring them on one at a time. I got to ask you, Kurtz, because I know you're younger. Do you know when we do these shows about the old school Raiders, you get a chance to go back and actually watch them on YouTube or anything like that to show, you know,
Or do you even care?
No, I used to watch, the America's Game thing about Super Bowls, like where they did one for every single. I used to watch like every single one, so I kind of know a little bit about Raiders history. Not a lot, but I know some. I know some players.
No, good. Well, go back and watch what you can. Get off of YouTube, like I said, anything you can on Lyle Alzado. You will be amazed.
Was he an
be
animal?
The Navajo Nation reservation still broadcasts some Raiders games in the Navajo language. Dude, that's awesome. The Navajo code talkers helped us win World War II.
Captain, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about
Go ahead.
Strokes his view.
Dude, I'm using these products that Gravy at Top Shelf Oil sent me, and this is like a bunny's butt, bro. It's so soft.
I'm still waiting on mine. I'm still waiting on my product. Go
Dude,
ahead.
It makes it soft.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Kurtz.
I was gonna ask, how do you feel about Derek Carr wanting a lot of money? I heard there were reports about that.
Well, there's reports that they're going to sign him to like 35. I've seen reports where he's going to go for about 28.
Yeah, there's like different variants.
Yeah, clickbait.
The highest I've seen is like 40 mil, but I don't know if that was legit.
Clickbait, bro. Carr will probably take 20 or 25 just to get your boy on board.
He's gonna take less because he knows that in order to have a good team, your cap can't be tied up with one person. Like, I don't know, like your quarterback making $45 million.
No, he 140 mil. He's gonna make. We're playing 4 years. That's how much he's making.
No, what I'm saying, I was making a swipe at Dak.
Oh no, yeah, I understood that. He's overpaid. I really hope. Like I don't know. I give him another year before we restructure his contract. If he cannot provide us at least a conference championship game, I think we should honestly like reconsider Dak and his contract. Because that's what the Cowboys do. They have one good year and then they resign him for a lucrative contract.
I gotcha.
Carr will take 20 or 25 if he can get Devontae Adams in.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And realistically, Carr ain't concerned about money. He's rich.
Do you think that you guys will get Devontae Adams?
He's got that Tom Brady attitude of, let me just have a good team.
Okay. Hey, well, hey, Kurtz, I got a couple. Boy, I just picked up another guy in the back room, so I got to get folks on.
All right, can I just ask you this one last question?
One last one. You got it.
How do you feel? Like, do you think Devontae Adams is going to Raider next year or no?
No.
You don't think so?
Maybe not.
All right, that's my last question.
No, I think he's either gonna stay with the Packers if the Packers give a good contract to Rodgers, or he's gonna go to where Rodgers goes if he goes to the Broncos.
All right.
You can't pay Rodgers being given the highest paid quarterback in the NFL and pay Devontae his bag too. I don't care who you are. And the Packers can't afford to tag him even.
They also have like Jair Alexander and stuff like that who's about to get re-signed or needs to get re-signed.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to the Raiders though.
All right, that was it, Captain.
You never know. Never say never.
I didn't say never. I said I don't think he will. But hey, Kurtz, thanks for coming in, partner.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem,
it.
guys. Peace out.
All right, peace. That was Kurtz the boy. Good to see him. I'm going to bring in Raider Rick. I got Raider Rick here next in. I got Avakazi after him, and I got Joe. Got Raphael. Raider Rick, you're on, brother. Raider Rick.
Turn off your YouTube.
Yes, you're turning your YouTube
What's going
down.
on?
We're good. Turn your YouTube down, Rick.
Raider Rick, turn off your YouTube volume.
Turn your YouTube down.
Turn off your YouTube.
What's going on?
Raider Rick, turn off your YouTube volume.
Okay.
Rick, I'm going to remove you. Turn your YouTube down and bring you back in a little bit. Okay, I got.
Kazi.
Yep, I'm bringing in Avakazi to make sure he's here for a bit. How you doing there, shipmate? Avakazi, you're on mute. You're
on mute. Great. We got one guy with echo and one guy with mute.
Sorry, guys. Hello.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to show one thing before I say anything.
Yes, sir. He's got it on. He's got it on. You guys are sporting him. Yep, I see it as well.
Yeah, I saw the heading for your YouTube show, so I thought, I got to pull up on this if I got the jersey. So.
Yeah, I got mine on too, brother.
And
yeah.
That was my favorite Raider of all time.
That
one of mine.
That would be a good drinking game, though. Every time that Daniel strokes his beard, you got to take it. Well, people would be drunk within about.
They'd be hammered.
Yeah.
Dude, I got this stuff from Gravy at Top Shelf Oils, and I'm serious. This is like a bunny's butt. It's that soft.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
During the day, I'll be sitting there. My wife will be playing with it. It's like,
dude.
So Avakazi, now you got your Alzado shirt on, and Rick, we're gonna have you come back on after Avakazi. Just make sure your YouTube is turned off by then as well. Avakazi, I got to ask you because you're a young man. What are your recollections of the old school Raiders that we talk about all the time?
Okay, so my fandom started in 2009. So I know a lot about the Raiders since then. I watched every game. Before then, I've had to go back and watch the tape when I get a chance. Right. And one of the guys I've been able to watch, I gravitate to, and one of my favorite Raiders of all time, Lyle Alzado. I've watched a little bit of tape on him and the way he played and his intensity and just that look. I mean, he looks like a Raider. He plays like a Raider. He has the attitude of a Raider. You know what I mean? And I really appreciated that about him. It was sad to see the way he had to pay the ultimate price in the end for the things he did to his body. But yeah, I mean, he, to me, is a perfect embodiment of what it means to be a Raider.
Right, but his brain cancer lymphoma has nothing to do with steroids. They debunked that in 2008. Steroids had nothing to do with it. He believed it, but it wasn't medically true. Hey, you went back and watched old Raiders footage. Did you lose all your fingernails? Because I went back and watched games I know we won and still chewed my fingernails to the nub.
I got to be honest. I haven't watched too many full games, and the full games that I did watch, it's like I already knew the results. So I'm not going to be chewing any nails. But it's good to see, especially when times are tough, which they have been. Up until this season, even this season was tough. But when times are tough, like in those lean years of my time as a fan, I'm talking about 2014 where we won 2 or 3 games. I'm talking about that period where Dennis Allen was the coach and when we were struggling, even when John Gruden took over, and those times. And I go back to the day. I go on YouTube and I trawl around. I just want to see the glory days and just it gives me a little bit of hope. You know what I'm saying? Like that we were once such a successful franchise. It would just be nice to see that again in my life.
We were brutal killers. We were
Yeah.
brutal killers back then.
Yeah.
You came up against us, you paid a price.
Yeah.
That's
you
who
paid a
we
price.
used to be. Now the rules don't allow that anymore. So now we have to modernize. And I think with the coaching hires that we've done, might bring us up to the 21st century.
I hope so. I hope like this new
But it's fun to go
era.
back and watch our barbarian ways.
Yeah. But with that said, OG, like the game has kind of changed since then. So a lot of the stuff that they did wouldn't necessarily be legal now. But like, you were just talking about the coaching stuff. I just hope that this new era of coaching stuff isn't just a new era, but a successful and a stable one. I've said it time and time again, and hopefully we can go back to the glory days and bring that back in a new fashion, in a new way, and start us heading in that right direction for many years to come.
Well, I think we've rebuilt most, not all, but most of the bottom half of the engine. And now with this coaching hires, I think we're rebuilding the top half of the engine very well. There's a couple guys I question, but I don't know, man. All I know is this: 5 to 10 years from now, I'm going to be en route to Australia, and I'm going to come visit you, and we're going to have a barbecue on the boat.
I'll be waiting for you on the jetty, my friend.
Hey, I got a question. Are you on the Perth side or the Sydney side?
Your cities, compliments. I'm on the Perth side, the West Coast.
Yeah,
the best coast.
I've been to Perth a couple times. I've been to Bunbury. Had a really nice time, and Cottesloe. So I've been on the western portion of Australia a couple different times. So I know.
What about Scarborough?
I've been to Perth, Newcastle, and Sydney. And
what about
I gotta
Scarborough?
tell you, man. Huh?
Sorry, guys. Did either of you, when you were in Perth, did you ever go to Scarborough?
No, I went in and out of Perth, and then Cottesloe. We had an outing there, and also in Bunbury, we were the only ship in town in Bunbury, and I caught a girlfriend, an Aussie Thai girl, which was the weirdest thing. A Thai girl that spoke like an Aussie gal, with the accent. It just totally freaked me out, So that's why
there's plenty of those.
I don't remember the name of the bar, but it was in Perth. I get involved with Aussies drinking, and people told me don't drink with the Aussies. And back then, it was Foster's. This was back in the 80s. And the Foster's there is a lot stronger than the Foster's in the U.S. You're like a lot higher content in alcohol. And I was the ship's drunk. Okay, I was the guy. Yeah. So I got involved with these guys, and every time you lost, because they'd have a mug, you pour your Foster's in the mug, and then you chug it, and the loser had to get up and brown eye the bar. Brown eye means you had to pull your pants down and show everybody your butt.
Gotcha.
Pull your pants down, show your butt. Yeah.
All right.
So I got up there and I did not brown eye, But after about 8 or 9 Fosters, I was feeling kind of like I gotta break the seal. I went to the bathroom and it's like, okay, from here on out, it's drink once, pee twice.
Fair enough.
And I ended up throwing up. Came out to the bar and went to the bartender. I said, "Do you have Bacardi?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Do you have Bacardi 151? And
we have Bacardi now.
I need 8 shots of Bacardi 151.
Hey, Daniel, this is only a 2-hour show, and I got 3 other people to bring on. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'll make a move soon.
I'll be done soon if you.
Hello to you guys.
I'm doing a Captain Jack. Okay.
I got you.
I ordered 8 shots of Bacardi 151. I set them down. I said, okay, let's stop drinking like women. And these Australian guys got kind of annoyed with me. They were not happy. I was like, let's stop drinking like women. Let's do a shot. And I was used to Bacardi 151. But if you're not, that is 151 proof. It will burn your gut, your throat, and your soul. Everybody took a shot. Bam. And all these guys were like, oh. And I'm like, so we did another Foster's, and I was fine. Then I ordered another round of 151 and killed everybody at the table. I got up. These guys were all passed out. They fell out of their chairs, and I jump up on the thing, and everybody's yelling because my nickname in the Navy was Dez. And my guys from my ship were like, Dez, Dez, Dez. And I'm jumping up and down on the table. I knocked all these guys out. The next day, I get back to the ship, and my chief's like, heard about your damn antics, boy. What the hell? I told you not to drink with Australians. I said, I outdrank those MFs, chief.
Of course you did.
And he's like, you crazy SOB. And my Perth story. And I'm not going to tell my other stories because I got other ones too, but I just had to do a Captain Jack thing and just be long-winded for a minute.
I got you.
Love it. All right, guys. Look, I'll make a move for the next guy, but thanks for having me on, Captain Jack. Good to see you. OG Daniel,
Afakazi, man, great seeing you, bro.
No, yeah. and I didn't mean to chase you. Just I wanted to make sure that we got everybody on because it is a pleasure.
Say less. I totally understand. The next time, Raider Rick, make sure you turn your YouTube off when you come on because
make sure you just subscribe to Afakazi Raider. He is the Australian contingent. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the chat. Subscribe to Afakazi Raider. He is the Australian contingent. Him and Aussie Raider. These are our brothers halfway around the world. And you need to subscribe to the channel. They have amazing content, and they love the Raiders like we love the Raiders.
We do. Even more so. Can I just say one last thing before I go? Just one, and I'll be quick and I'll dip. Thank you very much for the beautiful love. No problem. I just want to say my co-host that he comes on my show, Aussie Raider. He's having his first solo live today. I would appreciate everybody who supported me and supported your fellow Raider brothers. If we can support him, this is a big step for him doing it on his own. So if you guys can go and support my boy, it's Aussie Raider, OZYRAI. You know how to spell Raider.
OZY. OZY.
OZY. Raider.
Raider.
So he's having his first live today. So anybody who supports us, if you can support the brother too. So thanks for having me on, guys. You know what it is. Raider Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. Raider Nation till I die. All right. Peace, guys. For sure.
You, brother. You got it. Hey, thanks again there. Appreciate you coming in, brother. Okay, we're gonna go to Rick real quick, and he has fixed his stuff, and then Jack is next, and then Raphael. Rick, you got your stuff squared away, I'm hoping. Rick.
The autumn wind is a Raider.
There you go. Rick, are you there, brother?
Frozen in the sea.
Got some serious lag, Rick.
He's frozen in carbonite. We're gonna have to ship him off to Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, Rick, I'm sorry, man. Check your settings. I brought you back on. I apologize, man, but we'll get you out on another one. Sorry. Get you square. You're
next.
You're freezing up. We got Jack coming in. Obviously, Jack knows a bit about
Jack Kenna, my boy, my man, my brother.
And by the way, it's Aussie Raider. I will put it here in the OZY Raider on the make sure you check it out on YouTube. And then also Afakazi, which is Afakazi Raider on YouTube. No, Rick, we couldn't hear you, and you were frozen, Rick. We couldn't hear you, and you were frozen, shipmate. So that's what the issue was. I apologize.
Okay, Jack, how you doing, bro?
Hey, bro, I'm doing good. How you old boys doing?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm amazing. Amazing. Had a wonderful week. I had an amazing week. My wife has a daughter who's almost 40 years old. Got in with the wrong people at the wrong time, and when she was 18, drugs and crime and all this stuff. she had a child early who was an infant when my wife first saw her. This child remained out of contact for 9.5 years. The oldest one is now 10, but there's 2 more. My wife got to meet her grandchildren this week for the first time. And she got to spend time with them and hang out with them. They're trying to rebuild their relationship, the mother and daughter, my wife and her daughter. But the grandchildren were 3 total personalities. And I've never seen my wife so alive in her heart and alive in her eyes. I could see it. And we had a wonderful visit with her grandchildren, although I'm Grandpa Pirate. But she's got a 10-year-old who she only saw when she was an infant, who's real honest, real serious. And then she's got another one who's 9 years old, who is so intrigued and has a million questions about everything. And then a 4-year-old who is a little fucking firecracker. I love that one. She's like this little badass, full of energy. Get her nails painted and drying them like this. I said, "Why don't you blow on them?" She goes, "No, you got to do this, flappy." And it was the coolest thing ever we did yesterday. Otherwise, we're talking about Alzado, we're talking about Raiders, we're talking about everything and anything in the universe, brother.
So for all you fellas, you don't understand. OG and I, we always chat. So it's like, we can get personal like that and like be like that. And I'm wearing the hat, OG, the hat that you're jealous of right here. I can't you can't really see it. So Hall of Famer this year, if you could read that, if you could see it, Cliff Branch.
Nice.
So it's like
the Alzado bandana.
Well, I love Alzado too. I mean, he was our OG defensive end. I mean,
but I'm wearing the bandana that the same bandana style that he wore.
Yeah, when he thought he had
the Sports Illustrated interview.
I love it. Look at you, boy, dude. Absolutely. It's like, I'm so proud. It's like finally, Cliff Branch was a game changer for the NFL. Every team wants that receiver that can do what Cliff did. Every team wants it. The Raiders want what Cliff could do. That's why they drafted Ruggs, to make that happen. Every team wants that. And, it's like it took this year to get him introduced to the Hall of Fame, which is a shame. It's like the same thing with a bunch of our Raiders. And I will say I'm proud of our 76 Raiders. 10 Hall of Famers on the 76 team. 10.
We only need 2 more. Well, no, 1 more. Phil Villapiano. And then we need to also get from our 80s teams.
Well, there's just 1 more on that 76 team. Come on. Safety. Jack Tatum.
Yeah, you're right. We need Phil Piano and Jack Tatum, the Dirty Dozen in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then we need to get our 80s guys, Plunkett and Lester Hayes.
Yeah.
You get Hayes, Townsend.
Well, Townsend should be. Townsend's the number 2, sack guy. Actually, he had more sacks than Howie Long.
Number 1 sack guy for the Raiders.
Sack guy for the Raiders.
Yeah, for the Raiders.
Yeah. I think he's at least.
And I could even make the call for Rod Martin too.
Yeah,
Rod Martin, MVP of the Super Bowl.
The only player with 3 interceptions in a Super Bowl.
He's a linebacker.
From the 70s, we need Villapiano, and yes, we need Tatum. Okay, 80s, we need Hayes, we need Plunkett, We need Rod Martin.
Rod Martin. I said that. Yes, I agree.
We need to do videos on these guys and advocate for them as content creators, and make other content creators advocate for them, and then raise hell with the Hall of Fame. Get the fans to call the hall and raise hell. Tish, whatever.
You're also forgetting for the latter years, Steve Wisniewski is going to need.
Oh, yeah. The Wiz.
We got time for him. Okay. He's going to be alive for a while. We need to get the oldest guys in first.
I understand that. I'm just saying we just shan't forget the guys that deserve it, period.
Cap, I agree. It's like Wiz to me is the number 2, left guard in Raider history.
Yeah.
Number 2. I mean, it's like we got Gene Upshaw, number 1, and Wiz, number 2. And then I'd probably say number 3 is like, a lot of people probably forget is Gogan.
Yeah, Kevin Gogan.
Gogan was a beast.
Yeah, Kevin Gogan with his career with the Cowboys.
I say we go by age and get the oldest guys in first before they die.
I get you. OG. I'm just saying that we need to. There's a lot of people that should be in, and it's unfortunate that Paul Zimmerman kept a lot of these guys out for so many years, especially Stabler, because of the issues that Zimmerman had with Stabler in particular and the Raiders overall.
Didn't Stabler bang his wife or something?
Yes.
I'm sure Kenny's cool with it. but there's guys that need to be in the oldest guys. Let's go after the oldest guys first. Like we went after Branch. You and I did a video on him. Okay. We need to go after Villapiano. We need to go after
your boy Alzado.
Alzado. I don't know about if that'll ever happen soon, but it'd be a great fight. But if we go after the guys, Lester Hayes, Plunkett, like, let's get these guys in before they die, and screw the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Well, I feel Lester is probably the next in line. It's like, he's done something. Again, the Hall of Fame is like players that do things that never have been done. I mean, you look at Cliff Branch's numbers versus, the both wide receivers from the Steelers and Pearson from the Cowboys. He supersedes all of them, and he has stepped it up in the playoffs. He's a game changer. He set the NFL what it is today, number 1 right now, and everybody wants that speed guy, which, our team has been wanting this last year. That's the reason why we signed Jason Jackson. It's like, okay, after Ruggs is gone, it's like we need a speed guy to like open it up. We need that to open up the stuff for the underneath for Renfro and Waller and, get the passing, game to the running backs out there. Like Al Davis and Mark, and that's why they took him, number 1 for Ruggs. Has been trying to find the same Cliff Branch. When I grown up as a fan from 75, man, I felt that, Cliff Branch was better than Biletnikoff. It's kind of like Willie Mays versus McCovey.
So. Biletnikoff said that too. But let me tell you something. The term stretch the field, before Cliff Branch, you never heard that term. After Cliff Branch, you heard that term.
It's just like, our defensive back and, the first bumper rump. Sorry for saying it wrong. First defensive back that can play that type of position in Old Man Willie. I mean, he was the first one to do it. It's like, he's a game changer. The Raiders got that type of, players on this team, and the NFL needs to. I'm finally glad they recognize it. The Raiders changed the NFL and the way the game is played because of the players they had.
Yeah, but Cliff Branch stretched the field. You got guys like Mike Ditka who said he should have been in the Hall of Fame 30 years ago. You got guys, and it's true.
So even at the end of his career in 1983, when we got the Super Bowl, who did he beat out to get that touchdown? Fastest man in the NFL, and he beat him out.
He beat Green.
Green. Thank you, Cap. He beat Green, the fastest man in the NFL when they used to do those type of runs. Green was the fastest man in the NFL, and he beat him out.
No, he wasn't. He was the second fastest man in the NFL.
No,
well, maybe he was, but he beat him out on that play, and he got a touchdown out of it. So
Green was the fastest man in the NFL, but Branch beat him on that play.
I agree. Yep, absolutely, 100%. It's like he stepped up in the biggest games, on the Raiders, Super Bowl runs, the playoffs, and everything else. That guy needed to be there like 25 years ago, just like Stabler. Enough of the NFL, putting our players after they pass away, and then we give them the honors, give them their roses. They need to get their roses now. It's like they need to be recognized. I mean, if you look at the time, it's like that was a running league. I hate to say it, the worst position on the Raiders team in the 70s was the running back. And it was a running league. And we beat it by the pass. This team, that team then is set the parameters for every team that's been there since, and it's all been a passing league since. And think about it, except for the sea of hands, Marvin Hubbard, I mean, until who was the guy that was number 30?
Hewitt Dixon?
No.
Clem Daniels?
Well, Clem Daniels was the 70s.
What position?
Running back. It's like the 70s. That was our worst position.
Mark Van Egan, Marv Hubbard.
Mark Van Egan. Yeah, thank you. There you go, Cap. Thank you.
Yeah, Clarence Davis, Mark Van Egan, Marv Hubbard. Those were the running backs back then.
Yep.
And Garrett was the special teamer that played running back as well. Mike Garrett, who is now who was the athletic director at USC.
So I know I talked a lot about Cliff Branch. So I know this is OG's night for his boy that he's been wanting to talk about in Lyle Alzado. Lyle Alzado was the guy you can play inside, you can play outside, you can play him anywhere. And you know what? His videos of watching him, even afterwards, seeing him on the field, and I watched him live, is like, man, that guy's kind of cray-cray. And, I wouldn't want to play against a guy like that because he will whoop your flipping.
But here's a scoop. You meet him in a bar, and there's this guy who was probably one of the nicest people you ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be across him on the field.
Heck no.
No, he would try to kill you. But you meet him in his bar, and he was a nicest person. He was just like this big teddy bear. That's who he was. But on the field, he took out his earthly aggressions on everyone who had to face him. And yeah, do I want to meet him in a bar? Yeah. Do I want to meet him in a dark alley? Yeah. Do I want to meet him on the gridiron?
I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. I'll tell you that.
I would not want to meet him on the field. Hell no.
That's why he said if myself and King Kong went into a dark alley, only one of us is coming out, and it ain't the monkey.
Right.
I mean, you think about it. He is like OG is like he is the OG at the defensive end. He can play defensive tackle. He can play defensive end. He is the first real defensive end we can play on any of the teams. Like, name me another defensive end that was like him. There's not one. He was the one who started it all.
Because he created new rules in the NFL about pulling off players' helmets and hitting them with it. He was at war. You go up against Alzado, you're like, I don't want to face this guy. A lot of players were afraid of him, but he was going to war, and he's coming with cannons. Don't show up with a freaking chopsticks or a pellet gun. He's coming with a cannon, and if you can't handle that, and most couldn't, most backed cornerback offensive tackles couldn't handle him. They were afraid of him. There was a reason. He was going to war. You weren't prepared for war. You weren't prepared for Alzado.
No, you weren't. It's like, you think about it having 10 Hall of Famers on the Raiders in the 70s. You don't think of that defensive line. Not at all, except for Alzado. Alzado is like one of the guys that you think about. It's like, but there's really not a lot, there. It's like, they just put the pressure on and keep it close. And everyone else was so good, you didn't have to. It's kind of like I said, the running back position. Our running back was not that good. In an era where the running back was the main position, it wasn't the running back. It was the wide receivers. You look at it. We got a Hall of Fame tight end, Casper. We got 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers now, Branch and Blitnikoff. We got a Hall of Fame quarterback. That is something that was not even there. This team is a trendsetter for the entire flipping league, and that's what the model is. And you know what? They don't get any respect for that as a whole. It's like, but this is what the league is basing it all on, from a team in 1970, started in 74, 75, and then did it in 76. And this is what the league is gone to. That is
Imagine this. Imagine
respect
this.
that.
Imagine this, Jack Kenna. You're a wide receiver in the Super Bowl for the Washington Redskins, right? You got to get outside. Alzado's coming for your quarterback. Howie Long is coming for your quarterback, right? You got to get out there and catch a pass. There's Lester Hayes, Mike Haynes. Okay. You got to go out there and catch a pass on that.
Well, we also got another defensive end that's out there. It's got the number 2 Raiders record in like sacks on the outside, and Alzado's moved into the middle. Yeah.
And then you got Greg Townsend in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You
got to go out and catch a pass. Now there's Lester Hayes.
Bill Pickell as well. Bill Pickell was out there too.
Bill Pickell, Mike Haynes, right?
Van
You got to go catch a pass in that crap.
Oh,
right?
Van McElroy and Sean. Don't forget Sean Jones too.
Yeah,
Sean Jones is rotating in there.
Here's my point.
Best defense ever, 83.
I think you got a shot at winning.
Well, we were completely underdogs, because, we were like, the first team to go from like just making the wild card and winning the Super Bowl and beating them 38-9.
Right. Let's say you're a receiver for the Washington Redskins. You're going to go out there and these guys are out there waiting for you. Are you rethinking your life at that juncture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm about to get smoked. My whole team's about to get smoked. These are some evil men doing horrible deeds, and they're going to punish you if you accomplish your job.
So right now, I don't even care about the chat. I just want to ask you guys this, because you guys have been there like with me. I think the 83 team had the best defense in the Raiders history.
I think the 76 team was the best team.
I think it was the best team. I agree. I agree. I think it's the best team with 10 Hall of Famers. But I'm thinking the 83 defense, just saying defense. Because, most of the Hall of Famers on the 76 team are all offense. So let's start off. Art Shell, left tackle. Gene Upshaw. Jim Otto. And actually, the 75 team had 5 Hall of Famers on that team. We got Casper. We got
the 76 team had Dave Dalby at center.
That's what I'm saying. 75 had Otto, but 76 changed Dalby.
I think Otto was gone in 74. Dave Dalby took over, I believe, in 75.
Was 75?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I apologize, Raider Nation, because I'm getting old too.
No, there was that transition. There was that because it was also a transition from John Vella at right tackle to Henry Lawrence, and Henry Lawrence was starting that year in the Super Bowl year because Henry Lawrence has 3 rings as well. Vella was the right tackle, but that was when Henry, like the very next year when Henry started to come on. But Henry was a rookie during that year. He didn't start, but I was Vella's team as well. Yeah, Otto was retired in 75. Yep.
Yeah, that was my first year I saw him. Like Gene Upshaw, Art Shell, Jim Otto, Niners Raiders preseason game at Candlestick. My whole family's Niner fans, so I'm the black sheep. My dad took me to a Raiders game because it was less expensive, blue collar family. And we had tickets in the end zone, and I'll never forget, my dad's like, I had $6. That's what I had. I earned $6 through my life, being 5 years old. And I wanted to buy a Raiders hat. He's like, Jack, if you want a Raiders hat, I'll give you $1 if you say go Niners. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say go Niners. I'm like, I'm a Raiders fan. And so finally he caved in and gave me $1. And they were all stretching out in the field because we had corner end zone seats and Candlestick. And Art Shell turned around and stuck up his finger, number 1. And it I was just like, I was already sold, but I was even sold more then. That was just unbelievable to me.
Well, when Bob Boomer Brown was playing next to Upshaw,
yeah,
he taught Upshaw all his dirty secrets of how to wrap that thumb into jamming into people's guts.
Brown was on the right side as well.
Side.
Boomer played on the right side.
But he was teaching Gene Upshaw how to wrap his thumb properly.
Right. But as from left side,
and use it as a weapon.
Otto, actually Ron Mix was the right guard because he was a Hall of Famer as well, and then it was Bob Boomer Brown.
But Brown was teaching Upshaw how to wrap his thumb the right way to use it and get into those meaty parts.
Yeah.
You got and then Upshaw taught that to Shell too.
Okay, I'm gonna bring on Raphael as well because if not, we're gonna we got
our pendejo.
Gotta run out of time.
Yes.
We got about 7 minutes before I got to do the outro. That's why I wanted to make sure I brought Raphael on. We got Raphael here as well, so good to see everybody. Go ahead, Raphael.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm just very good right now. But I just want to let you know because I was learning about the history of the Raiders, and it became very popular at the decade of the 70s. And well, the creator of the motto "Just Win, Baby," it was from Al Davis, which is very incredible. And people don't know about the legacy of Al Davis and of course the impact they could be like the Raiders like to take it for the 70s and the 80s, and of course Brian Alzado, which is probably the most incredible players of all time for the franchise. And the 70s was the perfect decade to see the Raiders winning, and of course they had a great season. And of course the last season, which is the 1980, which is they had a great record. And I just figured it out that learning about the history of the Las Vegas Raiders, Oakland Raiders, the Black Hole, it just make interesting. And right now, it is very good to to see all these good players for the past, also the greatest history. But let's never forget about the incredible games that made a huge impact on the decade of the 70s, the 80s. So that was like the good appointment. And the roster that became about it of the season of the 80s was Dan Pastorini, Jim Plunkett, and Mark Wilson. Also, there's good players like Morris Bradshaw, Cliff Branch, Bob Chandler, Rich Martini, which is makes feel good about winning the Super Bowl of the 80. And for me, learning about the history of the Raiders, it makes me feel comfortable because I'm a sports journalist and I know about the knowledge and all these stuff like that, but I gotta say it. Raiders never lose any season because they never lose their faith. And that's our DNA. And of course, the motto says just win, baby, because thanks to Al Davis and of course Jim Plunkett, Lyle Alzado, and of course the one and only John Maiden, rest in peace, because he brought that energy, he brought everything about the organization of the Raiders. So we can never disagree the history of what's going on of the Raiders stuff. So
And
and
that's why we love Raphael. The fact is that Raphael, who is a newer fan to the Raider Nation, because we have indoctrinated Raphael with all the things that we have done on all of the different shows, that we brought him into the fold, and he is learning about the history of the Raiders of old to get to the Raiders of new. And I appreciate the fact that he goes out of his way to learn, to study, and to put those thoughts out there. And there are people today that need to do the same thing. They need to learn about the great history of the Raiders. And Raphael, that's why I respect Raphael, is that
mhm.
he's learning about it and he's putting his thoughts out there for all of us to hear as well. And that means a lot to all of us.
So Raphael, a question for you.
Tell
Good to
me,
meet
Jack.
you finally, brother. I've seen you on the show
Welcome
before.
to the dark side,
So what brought you
Raphael.
on?
Thank you.
What brought you on to the dark side and became a Raiders fan?
Yes.
All of us.
Welcome to the dark side, Raphael.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. But I just wanted to say
you know
it.
why?
Mm-hmm.
John Madden and Al Davis built that shield. No coach, no player is greater than that shield. And realistically, I would love to talk to our new head coach and tell him, I'd love 2 minutes and say, see that shield? Come out to the 50-yard line. We see that shield? No one is greater than that shield. The expectations are high. These were built by John Madden, the winningest coach in NFL history, and Al Davis. Live up to it. I would love to tell him that. Live up to it.
We will try to end up doing that as well. Folks, unfortunately, we are about at the end of our show because we got to do our outros. And I say thank you for all that came in here. Raphael, thank you for coming in. The new blood of Raider Nation coming in. Jack, the old gnarly
Thank
teeth
you, guys.
we are. Thank you for coming in as well. Remember, if you like what you see, share, follow, comment after the show. We appreciate it. We got a lot of good content on both my channel as well as Chronicles of the Black Hole. Make sure you subscribe and share it out to all of the people there. So we'll do this in a bit. I'm gonna say, Raphael, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you, brother. We'll get you out
Yes,
there.
sir.
And then
We love
Jack,
you guys.
always a
We
pleasure.
love this chat. Everyone in the chat, thank you. You have contributed so much. And please comment after the show so we can answer questions or talk with you because we like to interact with you.
So
That's
who's the next player? Who are we talking about next?
We'll figure that out. OG and I
We'll
we'll
figure
make
it out, put up a thumbnail. Usually we choose it, but Captain Jack and I talk about it during the week and go, hey, who do we want to do? Let's talk about this Raider or this Raider or and there's so many to choose from. And
I think
managed,
Terrence should probably be brought in here. He's an old school guy.
I'm waiting
managed
on Eric to come in there because I need to make him a moderator, but he hasn't been on the channel in a while. So I gotta get him over here so I can make him a moderator as well.
I'm proud of myself because I did the whole damn Alzado show and didn't shed a tear once because that gets me emotional, and I didn't cry once.
That's right.
In the spirit of Lyle Alzado, let's go to war.
You got it. Hey, thanks again there, Jack. I'm going to get you out as well because I got to
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you being here. Goodbye to Jack McKenna. Good to see him as well. Thank you, folks, for being here. Again, every other Tuesday, Chronicles of the Black Hole, we will be talking about a Raider Great. Just beware. Again, we'll do it in another 2 weeks. We'll figure it out. But make sure that you pop in, subscribe, share, comment after the show, and enjoy this with us.
Let us interact with you after the show because we love talking to you.
Yeah, we've already done Jim Otto there, Tito. You got to go back and watch.
Yeah, we did one Jim Otto before.
Yeah.
Go back and look at our channels and go back to the older videos. We did Jim Otto. We've done a lot of great Raider legends.
Yeah. Yeah, go back and watch, Tito. We got it. We got to do the outro. So again, take care, folks. Thanks again for being here. Always a pleasure. OG, you be well as well, partner. Remember,
you too, brother.
We'll see you for the next one as well. You guys take care now.
Absolutely.